All right, we got another Players Era tournament game for you. This one, a little bit later on in the evening, 6 p.m. tip, we get Houston against Syracuse. Now, Syracuse, surprisingly, I would say surprising to me, they are 4-0. They have actually played pretty well in their bye games, which was it's never not been a given for Red Autry, was also not a given for late career Jim Boeheim. So I'll give them credit. They've been playing good defense, really shutting down these sub 250, sub 300 teams. But, consider the level of competition, but still got to give credit where it's due. Meanwhile, we have Houston coming in as a team that has such high expectations, but hasn't exactly lived up to them yet. It seems like they're dealing with a bit of an identity crisis between are we leaning on our vets? Are we leaning on the Milos Uzans, the Joseph Tugglers, the Emmanuel Sharps of the world, or are we letting Kingston Flemings and Chris Sinak rock? I think this whole group can coexist, but this week will be massive in terms of just easing some of those concerns and improving that this unit can gel and that they can get better production out of the bench. Dion, what are you looking for the Cougars in this matchup?
Um, can they shut down Kion Anthony?
I think they can.
Huh?
I think they can.
I think they can too. But like, I feel like this is like so Kingston Flemings. And I guess it's kind of crazy to say Melo's son like has kind of taken the world by storm because it's Melo's kid. But
Hmm.
like, I feel like Kingston Flemings has firmly put himself on NBA draft radars. I don't think Kion has yet, but I do think it's like safe to say that Kion Anthony is like making noise like for this Syracuse team. Like he's been the best player on the roster in my opinion, or at least like the most impressive player on the roster. And I feel like this is a great opportunity for a guy that's like shooting 38% from three to start the year, right? He's shooting 62% from inside the arc to start the year.
Hmm.
He has 110 offensive rating. Like this is the perfect time for a guy to kind of like put himself firmly like on the radars. He's had some big games. I believe he had 18 in their last game out.
Hmm.
So he's not like he's averaging 14 or 15 points, excuse me. And yeah, well, my bad. He only had 7 against Monmouth, but he's had some big games. They haven't really played anybody though. So like this is his time. Like there's
Hmm.
NBA dudes on the other side. You want to prove you're an NBA guy? Like let's go get it. For me, of like the NBA legends, sons. I think he's the best one. Like uh D Wade's kid stuff, Zaire. Yeah, I mean, he was bad. He just wasn't good. I
Bronny
think
wasn't much
Bronny can.
better. I
I
think,
think
yeah, Bronny
Bronny
can
can
get
play.
there. Bronny can get
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think he can play. Don't get me wrong. Like he's taken a lot of like dirt, I guess you could trash, I guess you could say,
Hmm.
because of like his avenue. Um, People forget he had like a whole heart attack, man. Like that was like less than 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Or just around 2 years ago. Like people don't just like recover to play NBA basketball from stuff like that
Hmm.
as quickly as he did. Like, so I think Bronny can play. Unfortunately, like I think like some horrible things happened to him that like probably have affected his performance. But Kion's the best one though. Um, and this is going to be his coming out party, I think. Like I'm not saying Syracuse wins. I think Houston's the much better team, but I think you get
Hmm.
like a 15 to 18 piece from Kyle Anthony where you're like, that's a dude.
I would like to see a little more like of a well-rounded game as well for him. I think that could go a long way just into even improving his stock and keeping Hughes in this game. Yeah, what's up, Dion?
Um, as the number one fan of the Anthony family, I was a Mello should have won Rookie of the Year over Braun guy. I had his shoes. We don't do all around. That's not what we do. That's
But
not what
but
we
he's
do.
also not the scorer that his dad was. And I think he's a really underrated passer that like again, people who maybe just know him as Carmelo's kid.
No.
You're not buying it.
I don't know enough about his all around game, so I will defer to you. I defer to you a lot with like hoops knowledge. Don't get me wrong, like that's why you're my dog. But I know families. I know bloodlines.
You
We
know
don't do that.
camps.
We
You
don't
know
do all around. We don't do all around. We're here to get buckets.
well, I think with Kai and who I think has a little more balance than you believe. He and Donnie Freeman collectively, I think, have enough talent to. I don't know if I want to say like hang in this game. I will say I think they can hang in for a little bit. Freeman has had a really good start to the year. The dude is living at the free throw line and really good interior defender who's giving you some rim protection as well. I think between him and Kyan, like they can match the NBA pedigree of maybe match is too strong. They can keep up with the NBA pedigree of a guy like Chris Nack and Kingston Fleming. It's like those guys are going to believe they belong on this court. But I think ultimately this is still a game where there's just such a coaching disadvantage in terms of Red Autry versus Kelvin Sampson. Like you look at Autry's career at Syracuse through 4 years, anytime they're in a position like this, they get blown out. Like that's just what they do. Throughout all of these non-conference showcases, like Houston is good for a 20-point loss. I made a joke on the Friday full episode that they're going to go 0-2 in the players era with an average margin of defeat of 25 points. Like that's felt like what they've done. And that's why it's just kind of hard for me to get excited about Syracuse, even in a weak ACC. An improving, but still weak ACC.
I don't think it's weak.
Maybe weak is the bottom half is still really bad. It's just the top half is like really good. So
I'll be honest. I think we can make that argument for every conference right now.
yeah, fair points, fair points. But
I
yeah, I
can't believe
think
I'm the holder of the ACC on this channel. Like me
the
of all people is crazy.
the
By the way,
ACC
ACC has Ken
defender.
Palm number one. What team is that, Riley?
Let's not talk about it. But so Syracuse has been guarding really well to start the year. I'll give you one stat that I just found kind of fascinating though. Through their first 3 games, they only gave up a combined 8 3-pointers made. However, those games were against Binghamton, Delaware State, and Drexel. I
Yeah.
think Houston's going to hit some threes in this
So
one.
like if it's Kion Anthony, it's you, me, Card, and G. How many threes are those teams hitting on us?
Probably like three apiece. I think we could check, close out hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably give up three on my own. But the point is, like, I don't think that they would score a lot of threes on anybody, respectfully to Syracuse. This is a whole different world that we're dealing with. Um,
It's true.
and um, I think we just gotta like hope Kion goes crazy. Like
That
that's
might be the
our
way.
sole
Yeah.
focus. We gotta hope Kion goes crazy.
I do think like I'll give Q's in terms of the defense. I know the 3-point percentage is fluky, but they at least have good positional size to where they can bother you on the wing. And Freeman, I think, has taken a step forward as a defender. But this Houston team, even though I have questions about their bench, which Mercy Miller 14 points out in his last time out, we were the ones who saw that in Mercy. I still think Houston runs them off the court. I think it's another massive Kingston Fleming's game. It's just his efficiency has been insane. That the dude's shooting like, I mean, he shot 80% from the field against Ryder en route to 18 points. Like it's I get it's Ryder, but it's just every time Flemings is out there, he impacts the game in so many ways and has been scoring at such a high clip. To where, yeah, I think Houston doesn't encounter much resistance in this one. I think they end up winning by 25, and it's a little bit of like oh, maybe that panic was overblown. So where are you at in terms of a prediction?
So Ken Palm has Houston winning by 11. I think it's single digits. I
Wow, so you're
have
going.
concern about Houston. I have no concern about Kingston Flemings. I think you're spot on with your Kingston Flemings like scouting report. I guess they Riley scouts. I think you're spot on. But I do have concern about Houston as a whole, man. Like they that game against Auburn where they won by one. I feel like everybody's kind of like attributing that to like, well, Auburn's really good. No, they're not.
Mhm.
Respectfully, respectfully. Like I feel like
Auburn is
that was
fine. Auburn is decent to good.
every time Houston plays bad, it's like, well, the other team's just really good. But then like Duke plays bad, it's like, well, Duke stinks. Or like Purdue plays bad, it's like, well, like no, like maybe Houston just isn't that good themselves. And I don't know that that's the case, but I have concern at the moment. We haven't got a lot from Uzon. I think JoJo Tugler could give you a little bit more.
Hmm.
Kristen Ack's been up and down. The only consistent like force, I believe, has been Kingston Flemings.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
every single game, start to finish, he's the one that gets it done. Sinak is a freak athlete, and that's a lotto pick. So like what a bad like take by me. Like, and I will own that that's a bad take already because that is a lotto pick. But he's been inconsistent.
He
Um,
has, yeah, he has been a little up and down, especially as a scorer. There's some nights where that shot's falling, and it's like this dude could be a top 5 pick. Then other nights he goes like 1 for 8, and it's like, oh, he's.
and I've done. I think I did like the majority of the players there video previews and recaps, if not all of them. There's a consistent theme in these that I've said. I don't think Vegas is where we figure it out. And
Mhm.
Milos Uzan is a guy, another one, by the way, wanted to play in the NBA, was told no. I will continue to say that. I know not everybody wants to hear it, but like that, it's the truth. um, it's the truth. Sometimes the truth hurts a little bit. There's gonna be 30 NBA scouts at least, right? There might be two or three people from each team. There might wind up being hundreds of NBA dudes in this arena, but like there will be representation from every team at this tournament. There's $1 million on the line. I said this about BYU Nova. It was a time for Rob Wright to get his game off. It was a time for Richie Saunders to get their game off, and it affected BYU. This is a moment where Milos Uzan's going to want to get his game off. And we
Mm,
might get less Kingston Flemings because it's like Milos is going to try to get drafted. And
right.
by the way, that's what he should do. That's what he should do. You got representation from 30 NBA teams there. Go get yours, bro. And
Mhm.
hopefully you do get it. And then Houston wins by 30 and you go in the first round. But if it goes the way it's gone so far this year, Syracuse can hang around.
Mm. Oh, that's giving me some things to think about. I still am going to stand by my prediction that Houston wins by 25 in a major get right spot. But you laid out a compelling case just in terms of like this team just has more to iron out than I think any of us expected. I think this is where we start to see signs of moving in the right direction, though, this entire tournament. I said my bold prediction on that full episode we did for Sleepers was that Kingston Flemings is the MVP of this tournament. It's looking like it's aging. That take is aging well, and I hope it comes to fruition because he's a delight to watch. But yeah, to your point, in terms of how does this work out with Uzan? How does this work out with the vets? Remains to be seen. Can they clean it up offensively? Can they hit their threes in this one too? Just because I do think Q's can muck it up down low, but I don't know. In terms of my prediction, I'm just going with pedigree, where it's like I can't shake Red Autry in a big moment, and just seeing how every time, even when Houston, this happened 2 years ago, I think in the Maui Invitational in Red's first year, he kept up like Hughes kept up with Tennessee for literally 30 minutes of that game. It was back and forth. And Tennessee won by 20. Like Tennessee just hit the gas in the final 10 minutes. It's like, oh wow, this game's not even close. How was it ever close? And I can't shake that image out of my head, even with some new pieces here who are really intriguing. But that's why they play the games. Maybe this is finally Red's breakthrough. We will be back breaking it all down.